Welcome back and thank you for keeping it KTN Farmers TV. Today we are talking about animal husbandry, and with me is Dr. Jared Ombasa, who is a vet surgeon. Before we went on a break, Dr. we were talking about how important record keeping is for any enterprise, let alone animals. And one thing I've growing up, because I also grew up in a farm, and I'll keep going back to my days as a young man. I don't remember my parents keeping records at all. Why did it take us this long to really educate our farmers that record keeping, especially animal farmers who are keeping animals, that record keeping was important?
Yes. You know, traditionally, our parents, we used to keep very few animals. For instance, in our home, we used to have 2 cows. For record keeping for 2 cows really is not necessary. But nowadays, people have enhanced their practice such that you get, in one homestead, you can get over 10 cows. In another farm, you can get over even 3,000 cows. So they had to learn in which way can we be remembering what we did yesterday, today, how this cow performed yesterday, how is it performing today. That's why record keeping came in with the new technology.
Okay. Yes. For pastoralists, how can they manage to keep records, even as they move the animals from one place to another?
For pastoralists, it's a bit tricky. But what I've learned, like the Mansa is, you might think they don't know. The Mansa is on almost 100 cows, but he knows each cow. So there's a way, I can't explain how, but God has created their knowledge in a way such that they know. If any one sheep disappears, they can tell one sheep is not here.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let's talk also about pest and disease management. I'm sure that is also a very important aspect of animal husbandry. When it comes to livestock, how important is managing pests and diseases?
Management of pests and diseases in livestock enables you to control the spread of some infections. For instance, for you to minimize the spread of parasitic infection, which are caused by parasites like ticks, you need to get a qualified veterinarian to advise you what you need to do. For instance, depending where you stay, you need to be making sure you spray your animals against ticks. There are ticks which bring some diseases like anaplasma, East Coast fever. If you don't spray your animals, they can easily get this. For you as a farmer to minimize the chances of your cow or your sheep or your goat getting this infection, you need to make sure interventions you have put in place is spray the animals against these parasites. At the same time, there's what we call routine checkup. There's a saying which says, a vet is a call away from you. Always make sure as a farmer, you have your own qualified vet. It's like having a human doctor to be checking your family. It's like having a lawyer, a family lawyer. So you also need to have a veterinary doctor or a doctor or a veterinarian who is certified by the Kenya Veterinary Board to be routinely checking your cows through the management, feeding, disease control, spraying, and the rest. Yes.
Okay. Talking about a vet, there is a question I like asking every vet that I host. How important is a vet to a farm?
Sorry?
How important is a vet to a farmer?
A vet is very important to you as a farmer. In this way, is the one to come and diagnose your animal. Is the one to come and examine your animal and advise you what kind of disease the animal is healing from. Without a vet, you will not be knowing what is going on. Through vets, you'll be able to know management systems required. You're able to know what kind of feeds are required for your animals. You'll be able to treat your animals and the rest.
Okay.
Yes.
How frequent should a vet visit a farm?
That one depends on what type of farming you're doing, how many animals you are owning. But it's advisable once a month. A vet should be coming to your farm and check. But if you have a large flock of animals, at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yes.
I also remember growing up, we used to take our cows for cleaning. We used to call it dip once a week. Is that frequency enough to clean our cows once a week, or we need should be on need basis?
No, no, that's more than enough. Once a week is okay, unless you're living in places where the animals are predisposed to some parasitic infections. If you're staying maybe next to forests where there's a lot of vegetation and plantation, then you can do even twice a week. At the same time, it depends which drugs you're using. There are drugs you can spray once a week. There are drugs which are recommended you spray twice, every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
So also when it comes to vaccination, how important is vaccination, and what should be the frequency of vaccination for different maybe diseases?
Vaccination is very key. It's a preventive measure of making sure this animal is protected against certain kind of diseases. I can give, for instance, dogs. In dog farming, when there is what we call protocol in vaccination of these animals, such that when a dog is born, there's a protocol we follow. It's like kids. When they are born, there's a protocol you follow in vaccination. For instance, for dogs, when they are born, the first vaccine is normally given when they are 6 weeks old, which is called parvovirus, which is a viral infection which prevents infection against virus. Then later, every 2 weeks, you repeat until the dog is 3 months. So even to animals, like large animals like cows, sheep, goat, horses, they also have a protocol on the vaccination which is done. Then after that, there is what we call annual vaccination. Every year, there's a certain vaccine you should be doing to your animals. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
As we wind up, because I'm told we are running out of time, how important is housing when it comes to animal husbandry?
Housing, like us in human beings, shelter is key. Even the animals, housing is very key. Why do I say so? Without a good shelter, proper structure in place, your animals can slide down and get injury. Your animals can be rained on and get some diseases. So it's very important. A structure is key. Without a structure, then you can predispose your animal to various conditions and diseases. Yes. But you, as a farmer, you need to know what type of housing structure do I need for this particular animal. There's different designs given, be it for cows, be it for sheep, be it for dogs. You need to understand the design, but this one you can get from qualified extension officer or veterinary doctors. They can advise you. Yes.
So is there also, when it comes to housing, what are some of the things that the farmer need to look in terms of maybe drainage? I've seen people complaining about their chicken drowned when it rained. Are there things that a farmer needs to look at when also looking for a place to put a housing for their
There are
animals?
key things as a farmer you need to check before you put a housing structure for your animals. One, the location. Where is it? How is the floor? Is it slanting? Are you going to level as to make sure there's proper drainage? If there's no proper drainage, you know, there'll be a lot of accumulation of dung, stool, water, which can bring some diseases like for the feet and others. At the same time, for chicken, there's a design you are supposed to give such that the height from the floor to the roof is given as specific measurements. Then at the same time, in terms of structure, you need to make sure there is good ventilation. Otherwise, this disposal from the animals, they bring in urea, some gases which can predispose an animal to sickness.
Okay.
Yes.
And how often should they clean those houses?
Every day. Yes, that one should be cleaned every day.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. for sparing time to be with us and educate us and also our viewers on how important animal husbandry is. For our viewers back at home, that is all the time we had for today's conversation. Until next time, goodbye.
Thank you.